Brighton, they're a side. Do you feel that, because we always talk about Brighton as the draw specialist, Cass, but they won 2-0 yesterday, admittedly against a Watford side who are struggling in the league. But, this is a side that have only lost 4 games all season, Brighton.
Yeah.
Yet we always refer to them as draw specialists. Do we not give them enough credit, do you think?
No, not really. We don't. And I'm certainly guilty of that. Yeah, I'd say that. I think their transfer policy's been brilliant. And I always praise your club, Brentford, for that. I think the two owners are very similar in, they used to be partners and the way they run their businesses, and they've taken it to football. I mean, I saw Joel Veltman play in Holland quite regularly, and he was bought for less than, I think, £1 million.
Right.
And quite an experienced player. And that's without all Lamptey. I mean, Lamptey's like different gravy, isn't he?
Yeah.
You sort of feel, wow, how what a deal getting that lad to the football club. And then you go, Mopé. I spoke earlier in the season about Mopé, saying that leave him on the pitch, he'll get goals for you. And he is a very talented boy. His goal yesterday was a wonderful strike. It really was.
Do you think he meant it?
Well, I'll say yes because I'm a forward, but only he will really know the answer to that. But, it's just, I think the setup of Brighton, if you think they've got young lads like Lamptey come in, then they've taken a chance on a Liverpool player in Lallana, who was a terrific player for Southampton and Liverpool, take him at the wrong end of his career or the twilight of his career, comes in and does a job. It's really across the board. And they've had quite a lot of change as well, Brighton. And then you can say, well, the manager, tactically, how he sets up the team. I like to think I'm not bad at predicting the sort of outcomes of many things. I think I've got Brighton totally wrong. I thought Brighton would be below mid-table this year. And the more I see of them, the more I think I'm wrong. Because, that's how I felt.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because currently they're 9th. As I mentioned, they've only lost 4 games all season. Yes, they have drawn a lot of matches, which are 12, but that's still 12 points that they've picked up, whereas not losing those matches. And yes, you're now sort of thinking this could be a team that will break into the top 10. Could they even, how high do you think Brighton could finish then with the season that they're having?
Well,
are they a team that could actually get into Europe with the form that they're in?
I think it would be tough. Look, I just look at them and I think of Mopé and I think of Welbeck, and I think Welbeck was apparently finished up and yet he still comes on and does great jobs for the team. And across the board, they lost Dan Burn to Newcastle, who had done brilliantly well for them recently. They seem to manage everything it's a conveyor belt for them of who comes in next after, fits into the, exactly how football club should be run, by the way. We look at Man United, it's not a conveyor belt, it's a conveyor belt of all different sorts, licorice all sorts, of players that come in and which one do you like and fits in at certain times. It feels a very structured club, and there isn't incredible wage bill. It's not a wage bill at the highest end, Brighton. It's not a transfer kitty of the highest end. It's done, and everything is done for the benefit of the football club and suits the football club.
Yeah, Neil Mopé, 8 goals in the Premier League, 9 so far
this
season.
That's a lot, though. No, he gets accused a lot of not getting enough now. Mm-hmm. If you get 10 Premier League goals, that's a really decent return, okay? Not for Harry Kane, not for Mo Salah, not for, Raheem Sterling or, many others. But for Mopé and how much football he plays and the demands of Brighton, if he gets 10 to 12 goals, that's a fantastic return.
We said we don't give Brighton enough credit. What about Graham Potter himself then? Is he undervalued?
No, I think within the game he's definitely not. I think there's very... can you think of any corner where he's been criticised since he's become Brighton manager?
No.
Even when the difficult times have been there seems to be...
But is he a name that's going to be linked Manchester United, for example? We don't know.
Great question. That's a great question because it seems
my job is done for the day.
No,
I've asked the best question.
But no, because it's a very unfashionable of, we go down this road of, he manages Brighton and, no, they're Man United, it's different. You need a European manager. You need a manager who can handle top talent. And that's unfair on him. Mm-hmm. If he isn't given the opportunity, how are you ever going to find out? Because Sir Alex Ferguson, and yes, we're going back in time, came from Aberdeen. Mm-hmm. George Graham left Millwall to go to Arsenal. This does happen, and I think that is. Look, Brighton fans won't like it because they love their manager, and I'm sure the owner does as well. They sort of moved away from Chrissy Hughtons, who'd done a great job for Brighton at the time. A close friend of Chrissy's in football. I think he'd done a great job, but it's become for what Graham Potter's done, even better for Brighton.
He's kicked them on, hasn't he?
Kicked them on, and
Yeah.
maybe for different circumstances, But I'd like to think that a manager like him one day, and it might be his future at Brighton, that he can get them even close to the top 6. I don't know, because what he's achieved so far is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, Brighton going really well.
The Sunday Sports Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Sunday mornings from 6 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.